This is FirstCoast.tv. We find ourselves with
Steve
Kombucha. Steven, I saw you at the farmer's market there at the amphitheater, and I saw this really long line of people around your little stand, and you were selling kombucha. And what is kombucha? If someone said, what is kombucha? What do you tell them? What's a quick, short definition of what kombucha is?
Yeah, I mean, we get that question a lot, and the best way I describe it is it starts off as a sweet tea that's slightly fermented.
Okay.
Okay, so I say it's a fermented tea. When people say fermented tea, they're like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, well, try it out, right? Give it a taste. At first, when they put it to the nose, if they had never had fermented foods at all before, they can be off-putted initially. But the taste, the kind of kombucha that we brew, we don't take it so it's super acidic and super vinegar-like. It's almost really fresh.
Yes.
And naturally effervescent. So the best thing I say is it's a slightly effervescent, probiotic-rich tea that aids in raw probiotics and live enzymes.
All right.
Yeah, you call it brew. It's got 100%.
Does any country claim kombucha?
You know, I mean, they say it comes from China.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it comes from Japan because it was traditionally made from kelp. There's a big myth, and they say, oh, mushroom tea. And the reason why is because it looks like a mushroom.
Oh.
So this thing floats on top. This is called the SCOBY. It's a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And basically it's a cellulose pancake that sits on top and populates the tea. It feeds on the sugar.
Okay.
And so that's why it's really important to start with sweet tea. And traditionally that's why they refer to it as a mushroom, because it kind of looks like a mushroom. And they say it's supposed to come from mushrooms. You're supposed to let mushrooms and sugar ferment, which is how this dish forms, but that's kind of like a myth. And it was said that someone left a cup of sweet tea out for several days and a small disc formed, or like a gnat flew inside. Somehow it had to get the yeast, and I think a gnat carrying natural yeast flew inside the tea. It drowned. This small disc started to form. After several days, the guy tried it, and the sweet tea had turned into this slightly effervescent, nutrient-dense solution, and he was like, this is amazing. And so then that's kind of how it took off. It was actually invented for emperors and kings so they could eat more, as like kind of like an effervescent or almost like a middle aperitif.
Okay.
So they can continue
very popular in Europe
to gorge themselves,
yes,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
eat
just
more.
feel better after a huge meal.
Right. What are the natural good side effects that someone could get from it?
Totally. I first got introduced to kombucha while working on a line in Carmel, California, and on a professional kitchen line is one of the most intense environments in a professional setting, and especially when you work for like a really, French chef who's, really kind of hardcore and traditional. And we used to drink kombucha as a kind of like a natural uplifting drink, different from coffee. We'd start the day off with coffee. We'd have to be in the kitchen early, like, sometimes 7 o'clock in the morning, just prepping and getting ready for that night. So you'd start with coffee, and then during service you'd want something that was more tuned in. You didn't want the jitters effect. You didn't want, you wanted to be focused, and you wanted to have this uplifting feeling.
Okay, so what makes your kombucha special?
Well, a lot of things. Love first. Second to that is technique. You got to have good technique to know exactly how to make a good product. So with love, technique, and then good products, we source locally. We source, really good spring water, Florida spring water. We source the best organic sugar we can find, and we source local tea. I think that's what makes us really different.
Thank you for this interview.
Yeah, anytime. It's my pleasure. Thank you for coming. And I introduced myself as Steve Kombucha in the beginning, but you guys can call me Kombucha Steve. That's been like
Kombucha Steve. Love it.
It's been kind of like my thing around town. As people will see, and they kind of become hooked to our product, and they love our product, and they'll see us around and be like, Kombucha Steve.
All right.
So if you see us, don't be shy. Kombucha Steve.
All right. Okay. Wow, this is so fresh. It's so sweet. Thank you, America.